Tell you something, Joy. I'll give you two things that it would, if they would happen, I would run for president.
Yeah.
First of all, if there was a grassroots movement out there which required no money, because I think the raising of this money is obscene, what they do. If a grassroots movement started to get my name on the ballot in all 50 states, to where my name would be on the ballot, and if they could guarantee me I could participate in the debates. Those two things happen, Jesse Ventura would run for president. But the other thing, Obama ran on change. I haven't seen one shred of change. We're the same country we were 4 years ago, except we're better off because we don't have George Bush. But other than that, the only difference is the color of their skin.
He's captured Osama bin Laden.
Really?
He tried to get
Do you believe that?
I do.
Really? I don't, because they've lied to me so often. They lied about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. They lied about Iraq's ties to Al-Qaeda. There were none. They lied about the rescue of Jessica Lynch. And the one that really burns me up is they lied about the murder of Pat Tillman. So how do I believe one word that comes out of this government when all they do is lie? And what's interesting about that, Joy, is if I lie to the government, I go to jail. When they lie to me, we go to war. I think we're on the wrong end of the stick on both.
No. I'm telling people to vote, but don't vote for Democrats or Republicans. I still want people to vote, absolutely.
Okay, so if they're not voting for Democrats or Republicans, who are they voting for?
That's the point. You know, they tell you, no, I'm voting for Governor Gary Johnson, the former governor of New Mexico, who's running under the Libertarian Party. And all Ron Paul supporters, I hope, will too, because Ron Paul was a Libertarian in '88.
Don't vote for the candidates?
No, don't vote for a Democrat or Republican.
Just vote for whom you like.
That's wasting your vote, because if you vote for a Democrat, they always tell you, if you vote for the third party or a third candidate, you're wasting your vote. I'd like to reverse that and say you're wasting your vote if you vote for a Democrat or Republican, because you're going to get the same thing. It does not matter.
During the primaries, your boy Ron Paul was one of the candidates. He didn't win the nomination. He had a fair shot.
Are you kidding me with the media? He finished a close second to Bachmann in Iowa. They didn't even mention Ron Paul's name. They went down to Santorum, who finished about fifth.
Well, who are you blaming for that?
Because they're all part of it. The media is part of this too, and it all goes to our recent Supreme Court decision, which will kill this country.
That's true. I agree with that.
When they said corporations have the same rights as individuals and money is free speech. Well, look at this scenario now, if you will. Our election could be controlled now by a foreign country. All they have to do is form a corporation. They can pump unlimited amount of money into it.
They might have done that in this election.
There's no open disclosure. They've even took that away. Who's responsible? The Democrats and the Republicans, and my apologies to the Crips and Bloods. Why don't I run? I might, but here's the difficulty. I have to get ballot access in all 50 states, and it's a different standard in every state. That's what makes you spend this obscene amount of money to get elected. Put it to you this way. I'm the only elected official, major, in the last 50 years who made more money doing the job than I spent to get it. I only spent $300,000 to become governor of Minnesota.
Those days are gone.
Oh, no, they're not. I'll do it again. If I do run for president 4 years from now, I will run as an individual with no political party, so that if you vote for me, you don't have the baggage of these two gangs coming along, and you'll know I make my own decisions, and I'm not beholden to these gangs that run our country. Now, I believe we've been at war all of my life. I was born in 1951, because let me add to the wars, the war on drugs. That is also a war. Millions or thousands of Americans are put in prison because they happen to use, quote, illegal drugs. Well, in a free society, how can you commit a crime against yourself? Which is what drug usage is. And then you look to Mexico, which is the results of our war on drugs. 20,000 people have died there in the last year. And then if you add the Cold War, which, you know, we weren't shooting back and forth, but we were still building up armaments beyond belief. If you add the war on drugs and the Cold War, we've been at war my entire life. I proved From the primary to 7 weeks later, I rose from 10% and won the election because I was given the opportunity to debate. Why are they so scared? Because if they let somebody like me in there, if I can debate them, I can beat them. Yeah. Well, actually, when I taught at Harvard University, one of my classes was how pro wrestling prepares you for politics. And it does.
How?
In pro wrestling, Murphy's Law always applies. Anything that can go wrong in the match will. So you have to be able to think quick on your feet. Well, when you're running for office, you may get a question you're not ready for, so you have to be able to think quickly. Second, in pro wrestling, you sell yourself on the microphone and on TV. You got to convince those people to spend their hard-earned money to come down and see me get my ass kicked. Well, what's the difference between selling for that money or selling for a vote? And finally, and most importantly, the character that you portray in wrestling may be nothing like who you really are as an individual. And I think we got a lot of elected people that fall right into that. Yeah. The character they portray in front of the screen is nothing like they really are in private life.
Just playing a role.